listening to the Law Enforcement Pirate Radio Network. Radio Free Larry presiding.
You can run, but you can't hide.
Radio Free Larry.
All right, here we go again. Buckle up. Rough roads ahead. Presiding. Don't you like that? Don't you love it? If I was them, I would make you get sexually turned on to it. That's what they do. I watched them in yoga get the teachers sexually turned on to them. They use spells. So again, I have to go by this area of the Oak Center. Heal in the name of Jesus. Actually, I didn't see the Oak Center last time. Yeah, I heal these apartment complexes in here every so often. Over this way. Entire community needs to be healed. Oh. Thank you. This time I didn't just happen into this community. The inference voice, whatever you want to call it, said, now we got to go heal that area again. Could it be Jettis? Yeah, it could be Jettis. One of Jesus' names in here, Jettis. Where it came from. Healed, and then Rose Hill Elementary, heal that. Old child, like, what is that, preschool or something? Heal that. Okay, this area is still a little rough, but it's clean, a lot cleaner than when we first saw it. Okay. That's a sign that it's possibly healing. That's a sign that a place needs to be, like, if people go, oh, they're all pigs. No, heal it. Put the demons in the pigs. No, don't do that. Remember that. Because they killed the pigs and then they go on to possess the people. So this is what I received early on, and I've it's I guess revelation, and I put it out there a couple times. So when Jesus puts the spirits in the pigs, they run down the hill, kill the pigs, and then they're free to possess all over again. So the updated, don't put the spirits in the pigs. Then when they butcher them for for bacon or something, then they'll be free to possess again. And actually, this is what happened. That person's in my way. I don't know why I couldn't go that way, but all right, we're going this way. This way. That's red. So when Jesus put the legion of demons in the pigs, they ran down the hill, killed the pigs, were free to possess again, and they actually contributed and were part of the crucifixion. The legion of demons gone. And then plus, I mean, there was other things, other people. I go that way or this way? But God's raining that way, so I'll go that way. And God's raining in the distance, the rays are coming down. So I spoke to a guy who he's more of an agnostic than anything. He grew up Catholic, and he says it's all possible. It's just he says there's not enough proof for him. So again, we started talking about faith, but when the manifestation was in the sky of God, he says, "Well, that's a physical thing." I said, "Yes, but they work like this," and I held my fists together as a side by side, and there's three, basic delineations: the psychological, the physical, and the metaphysical, and they're all kind of interwoven. But I understood that. I said, I understand it and all that. So he started speaking about faith, and I tried to get him to understand that it's a gift of God, which means this: we don't have faith. We really don't have faith. It's all God. So if God can give you that faith, or that faith fits the plan, then God gives it to you. But he's not sure. He's like, well, he believes in the parable of the sheep and goats, pretty much. Hang on there. I had to get to my meter to make sure you're hearing me. And then he said, if it isn't true, at least I lived a good life of trying to help people when I could. I said, correct. But it's. He goes, well, how do you know it's true? I said, well, I can see. I said, you can't see. But yet I believed when I didn't see. So again, Jesus kind of said that's a kind of hidden blessing. Blessed are those that do not see yet believe. Because you can not see physically the wounds, but you can also not see spiritually. So in everything that Jesus says, it runs kind of in a seer language and then in a physical language and whatnot. So if you, like, I couldn't see, I was asleep, but yet I still believed. That's one of the first things Jesus said to me when I woke up. Larry, you did not see anything, yet you believed. All right, here we are by the next train station. What is it, a real train station? Or is it a fake one? Some places are like restaurants and like beer halls. They turn their old train stations into restaurants and beer halls. It got weird vibes over here. I can't remember what the healing locations around here are. I think it is around here somewhere. I think this takes me to what road is that? 7th or something like that. Like, I hadn't used a debit card in so long. It wasn't this time, but it was before. For some reason, I needed to use my debit card. And I couldn't remember how do you use it without using the PIN number. You have to like cancel it in some places, or some like this one had bypass PIN. But I ended up getting a fee. I'm like, well, that doesn't make sense. I use my debit card, I get a fee. But it was because I didn't remember how to use it. I haven't used debit card for purchases in so long. I think some people got evicted out of where we lived. I don't know, the Popo was there. And then there was like people moving out after they showed up. It's real. It's easy to get evicted out of a hotel. There's no. It's not, I think it is. It's not like a housing place. Oh wait, I turned the wrong way. Or maybe the right way. Something about this building down here. This telephone pole is leaning, and it's a cross, a crucifix, and it's leaning into Phoenix design, inspired closet. Blue Fox. I don't know. I don't quite understand it. I hail a building, I guess. Ollie back this way on the left side when you come back this way. I guess the rentals aren't moving fast enough. All this is available in here. I really do need to get into an apartment. It's not really happy at all with my situation there. And I'm supposed to have the same way as everyone else, if not better, actually, based upon what your standards are, your real standards are. Now to go out for a drive. The sun was like bearing down, and I was going out for walks, and I'm like, solar flare. All right, well, guys that go out for a drive, get some gas, do another debit card thing. By the time you come back, it'll be like it is right now, cloudy. The sun just went behind the clouds. Like, I think there's supposed to be like a rainstorm or something soon. I don't know if it'll make it. We've been missing a lot of the rainstorms that were forecasted. That's bad because it doesn't cool like it's supposed to. But God is like sun rays raining over Lenexa there. If you look towards the west from 69. There are some non-residential spirits here. Looks like the alien thing. Clouds. Visiting Earth, helping heal, I guess. But we still need people to accept Christ and to stop spiritually and physically killing people. So, I mean, the planet can end still, but, the planet's been always ending. It's just a matter of when. You live to die. When you're born, being born is like the worst thing on earth, or worst thing in the world. I mean, in existence, should I say, so help you understand. Being born physically on earth is the worst thing in existence because now you're going to die. If you were never born, you would never die, but you would live as a spirit or soul, whatever you call it. Some people call it a spirit soul. So it's actually the worst thing in the existence to be born on earth. You have to be tortured your whole life by weirdos. Government and private sector, foreign and domestic. They're all weirdos, man. They try to act like everybody else is a weirdo. And they spend their whole life trying to make everybody else look like a weirdo. But they're weirdos, man. They're psychotic weirdos. Why, thank you for letting me go, sir, ma'am. So we did have increased cloudiness. That's fabulous, God, that you told me that would happen, and now it happened. I mean, the weather report said it, but I was like, okay, now go get gas, and when you come back, it'll be cloudy. That's pretty much how it happened. As soon as I was done with the gas, then the clouds started rolling in thicker, and now it's cloudy. I don't know how I was like so used to this weather that I ran and laughed about it. When I was younger, I mean, Fort Riley can't be much different than this. Actually, I think it was hotter maybe than it was here. In Fort Leonard Wood, I'd be like, I don't think I was human. If you looked at me when I was in the army, there's no way I was human. I guess that's why, like, that guy that was my friend at the academy, the monster called me the mutant. All right, so this is kind of weird. Maybe they're staying with somebody, but I think those kids were part of the family that were put out. So kind of look to that. They're sitting under the pavilion. Maybe they got money to get another room. I don't know. And just I don't know what capabilities you have to look into that, just to make sure they're safe tonight. If you didn't screw up my life, I'd walk up speaking to them and ask them if they're okay. But if I walked up and said anything to them, they go, "Oh, he's grooming them." Every charitable thing I ever did, I'm grooming people. That's what they say. The ranger guys, maybe he's trying to ask if they're okay. I don't know. Unless the woman, I saw the woman. Oh, there's a woman that was talking to him, so I'm thinking, well, maybe the woman's taking care of them. Well, there was an older guy, which I imagine was their father, but maybe not. I don't know. Did the cops check out who they were? I think that's what happened. Cops went upstairs, and then all of a sudden, I was doing my laps, and all of a sudden they're leaving, and he filled up a vehicle. And then, maybe this is what probably happened. He has to get all the stuff out of here. That's probably it. So there was a pile of stuff there while they were sitting there about a couple hours ago. So maybe he has to get all the stuff there, and then he's going to transport the kids there. I wouldn't have done it that way, but maybe the place he's going to maybe this place is safer. I don't know. Maybe they're going to some homeless place. I don't know. But, maybe you want to drive by in about a half hour to an hour before it gets dark. See if those two kids are still sitting in the pavilion. Well, I mean, there's a lot of single guys there. They drink, get high, and everything. So, again, right. Or even guys with women. Before it gets too drunk tonight and too high tonight, it would be nice to make sure they get somewhere. But again, based upon what I notice, he's probably moving his stuff first before he moves the kids. Right. I don't remember them being there all that long, so that's a lot. He may have lost like his housing, right? And then they moved in there for I don't know how long, but I don't think they've been there all that long. I didn't know the one woman was from Mexico. There's like a blonde woman, like I don't know, maybe 40, walking around with I thought was her daughter. She give me a good smile every once in a while. But she has a Nueva Leon plate. I would have spoke to her. I've been there before. We had one of those back when we went to Mexico. We had one of them triptychs from AAA. Now it's like online, But they give you this thing each float, and we drove from Pennsylvania to Acapulco. And we went down on the, I think, the East Coast and went up partially or almost all the way on the West Coast. I was in Guadalajara and some dude, drunk dude started raging on me. I was like a kid, you know. He started raging on me. Okay, I'll tell you what happened. I smoked cigarettes back then. He wanted a cigarette. It's like I would give him a cigarette, right? That's the way I am. So this guy catching the bus, and I started talking. He's like, he comes up and asks for a cigarette. He goes, "Don't give me a cigarette." This Mexican guy. I'm like, okay, no, I have a cigarette. And he gets on the bus. And this guy, you mother, started cursing me out for not giving him a cigarette. I'm like, holy shit. It was in Guadalajara, and Guadalajara back then was bad, right? Some areas weren't that bad back then in the 70s, right? I mean, not golden, but Guadalajara was one of the cities that was pretty rough back then. So I'm like, ooh, back in the hotel. It was a kind of like a storefront hotel, one of those, boutique kind of looking things. But we ate bananas, cake, and and beer. It's like Tecate beer. My stepfather would grab a 6-pack. We'd all have like one, but he grabbed that and the cakes were the baked goods were so cheap in Mexico. So my dad's like, "This is what we're gonna eat: baked goods." We had good meals too, but like when we're traveling, we'd stop at the bakery, the Mexican bakery, and be like, all these cakes are like dirt cheap. I think it was like 24 pesos to $1 or something, I think. Can't remember. So we'd sit in there with all this cake, beer, and I don't know what else we ate. But like when we got to Acapulco, we ate great. And then the scuba dive instructor, his son was like helping him out with all the wreck stuff. We got to know him, and we took him out to eat to the place. My dad used to give them money, and they go to the market and pick up a fish, and we come in, the next day and eat it. And boy, red snapper, Veracruz style, that was like amazing. And they were like barbecuing it. So that's amazing. They wrap it in tin foil type of thing. Actually, it was actually kind of the thing we did at home. We were big barbecue people. Put it in tin foil, put it on the grill. I don't eat meat or fish anymore. But they're all dying, aren't they? Third part of the sea is dying. But what is also the sea? Remember, the sea is also SEE. So again, it's parallel. As a third part of the CEA is dying, a third part of the SEE is dying. And of course, you killed me. Metaphysically, I'm just here because God says I got to stay here. No, you actually did kill me probably like 1 million times in my life. Not 1 million, but a very large number. Fixed a car accident, Santa Fe and the police department, school, whatever. What's that road there? Antioch. No, that's not Antioch. That's what is that? Can't remember. The one that the city hall's on, but up at Santa Fe, there's a car accident there waiting to happen. And you just heal it. And if you do have a car accident, it'll be less. Okay, here, something weird here. 87th. I hope you didn't put the yellow in on me, the short yellow. Make sure your officers aren't doing that. I don't know if they have the capability, but if officers have I know they do it because they did it to me in Santa Fe. And then, every light looks like it once they do it long enough. Kind of put it out of your mind because they're cursing you to it while they're, it's psychological torture, really. So they used to have to sit. I have to sit at a light like 3 or 4 times. I could notice that they were doing that. But here at 87th and Santa Fe, make sure they're not shorting those lights because that's how you cause an accident. They go yellow real quick and then red real quick, and then somebody slams on the brakes, somebody hits somebody, that kind of stuff. So again, you have to make sure they're not abusing the tools. What I've seen for the last 20, 30 years. But it's weird, dear. I mean, whatever it is, it's weird. So if an officer flicks a light and changes it on a person, and I don't know who all could do that. Maybe even ambulance and fire people have somebody that can do that. I don't. I know some of it's automated. But if they could flick it, they could curse it at the same time, but then the curse doesn't dissipate. It stays at the intersection. I could actually get one of them when they drive by. Ah! That's how the communities are degrading. And cops aren't healing, they're hating. No, I healed my enemies for decades. It's into something else now. The Jesus plan didn't work. Actually, it worked because Jesus foretold the next step if you didn't do what you're supposed to. No, actually, the Christians and conservatives are creating the trans people. They consider that blessed. They create all that overage that the trans people and the LGBTQ are into, and then they use that for political purpose. But I don't know if it's going to pay dividends. We'll see. I mean, obviously, what's that crook's name that was with Trump? McCarthy. Obviously, McCarthy got in and all that, but I don't know. It's kind of a I would think an anomaly. I don't even believe the election, so I believe if Republicans say they're that crooked on behalf of Democrats, from what about Republicans, that would be a projection. Generally, projection is one of their major things. All right, the clouds just went away. We didn't have the rain. Is that what that's telling me? Yeah, we were supposed to have more rain, and it's going north and south. We still get more rain in Oklahoma City, but that happens to Oklahoma City all the time. It'll come up here to Kansas City and go down to Texas, and it'll be dry as a bone down in Oklahoma City. But Kansas City has a little bit of that going on too, where it goes south of Kansas City and north of Kansas City, but Kansas City doesn't get any rain. Or this whole area, what is this? Joco. This place is called Joco. Let me do one more lap around. And then I'll probably park. Oh, people bought their beer and everybody's starting to get drunk. The one guy may be watching them. I don't know, the Ranger guy. Because him and the woman he hangs out with every so often, I don't think it's his wife. I don't see his wife all that much. I think his wife is this one woman, and she just comes out every so often. But there's another woman that smokes with him all the time. And I mean, this is like a great place, people smoking and drinking, right? Where you get me stuck. Awful work. Okay, so it looks like they moved on, I think. Beers are starting to come out, so good timing. Unless they're in again, be in a room and it could be, you could be held captive. But they're not at the pavilion. Because the Ranger guy was speaking to him, so he may have said, you want to go in and get some AC or whatever and a drink or something, like a normal drink. I mean, I don't think he's a bad person, but you never know. But it looks like a lot of cars moved out too, so. So people ran away their own every so often. All right, what do I want to do now? Kind of bored. I wish I was in an apartment. Everything would be opened up by doing my projects. Walking on the trails in Olathe. Healing everybody I saw. Do you want to suffer in the nescience and filth that has become Olathe? So in the Bible, it says that people will be looking for God and godly things. Now, the church makes a drama out of it. In reality, they're looking for the healing and they can't get it. Why? Because of Luke 10, they keep the healer. I've been doing this long enough to know that's what you're doing, all of you. Whether you realize it or not. Because if they curse people, they don't want a healer coming in and healing the people they're told to curse. But then again, you get it. It's not bail reform. You get what they're alleging is bail reform results, but it's not, because New York did this study. It had nothing to do with bail reform. A lot of people are thinking dropped off the White House just so a bunch of Republicans can make comments. But who knows? I know he does look a little whacked in that video, but it's so hot. I can see they're sweating like terribly. I don't know how hot it was wearing a suit. I mean, that sucks when it's real hot and you're wearing a suit. Because that's the look you get. I have to be here. He hasn't been out of the AC in like 2 weeks. Comes out of the AC in a suit because he has to do a July 4th thing. I used to say, but I think he was led into that by spies. I believe that's, not choice he made. I think that by the nature of who his father was, he was put into that. Stay peaceful. Praise God. And what you do, praise